Welcome back to Charlie's Mailbox, where I answer actual questions from actual people in my inbox. This week's question is, can I send home emails via Powerschool? And it's a timely question because, as it happens, just this morning, I was sending out spreadsheets of contacts for RISE courses. And so it's a good time to review the various ways that you can email caretakers at home and the pros and cons of each approach. So let's address PowerSchool. When you're in PowerSchool on the left side, there is this email students and guardians, and I've mentioned this before. And if you click on it, what you'll find is you can choose which section, which course you want to send emails to. Maybe I'll pick this one. And you can then check the box for all students or just for some of the students in the course. The pro to this approach, it's right there in PowerSchool. It's going to have an updated list of your students. The cons, there are two cons I want to mention. One of them is that the email does not actually come from you as far as the parent sees it or the guardian sees it. It comes from an address called cvsd no reply at cvsdvt.org, meaning that the parent can't just click the reply button to reply to you. Now, it does say in the message that it was sent on your behalf, and it includes your email address in the message. But again, the parent cannot directly reply. And I suppose you could argue that maybe it gets a little bit more attention if it comes from your email address. That's something to think about. The second con, which is important, is this does not go to every guardian who's legally, receives information about the student. It goes to whoever signed up for the PowerSchool portal. Now, that may be one caretaker, it may be two, but just be aware it's sort of an opt-in thing. So for general information, that's fine. That's probably the caretaker who's paying the most attention. But just be aware that if it's something important that needs to go to all folks who should legally be getting information, then this would not be the approach that we'd use for that situation. So let's switch over to the spreadsheet. So what I'm talking about here is this bit here in Google Classroom. You have your caregiver folder directory. These are the spreadsheets that I create, and they are going to look something like this. And just so you understand what's going on here, this is an export from PowerSchool. It's not necessarily up to date. It's only as up to date as the last time I did it. So if enrollments change, there can be a lag in these. And what you will find is here, these email addresses I have blurred out, but that are in this section of the spreadsheet. These are going to be any parent who legally should get information about the student. And what you can do here is you can, sort of one column at a time, select the column, copy those addresses, and paste them into the blind carbon copy, BCC, so parents aren't seeing one another's email addresses, and send a message that way. The pro is it's a full listing. You know where to find it. The con here, it's a little bit more work to have to actually paste the addresses in. Oh, another pro is, of course, that you are sending this email, right? It's coming from your email address. Now, one more way you could conceivably send information, although I am going to caution against this approach, at least for now, is if you are in your Google Classroom and you come up not to the classwork or the stream, but to the People tab, you will have a listing of all your students. And you've probably noticed that next to each student, there typically is some guardian email. The reason I'm cautioning against this is we don't create these, we don't populate them, and very often these are old email addresses that never got updated. So unless you specifically in your course, make sure that you invite guardians to, get those updated addresses. That's something you can do, for example, at, CView at a glance in the fall type of thing. or at conferences or whatever. Unless you're confident in those addresses, this is not the best approach. But again, you can select all the students, or you could select some of the students. And when you do, I'll select them all. And then one of the actions here is to email guardians. And that will send them, it will already be blind carbon copied, so that's not a problem. We'll each get a separate email. And that's a way to email guardians. Again, those are the ones who have opted in to Google Classroom. And unlike Powerschool, which they do every year, so at least you know that email in the Powerschool portal is at least have been updated this year, Classroom may be a little out of date. So I hope that helps understand the pros and the cons of the various approaches. And if you're at all unsure, just let me know. I'm happy to walk you through and get you the best way for the particular situation that you're in. Thanks for watching. Keep those questions coming.